Hi, welcome to Two Different Worlds. Unscripted, unrehearsed, and we're just sitting in nature, two guys talking. And I thought today maybe you'd like to get to know more about Carl Stedmond, who is the co-host of Two Different Worlds. And we say that because he was from England and a martial artist, and I was born and raised in Toronto with a whole different circumstance. But they are just circumstances, and we come together in spirit. So, Carl, do you want to start from England?
Yeah, grew up in England in a place called Birkenhead, which is just across the River Mersey from Liverpool. There was a song quite famous, "Ferry Across the Mersey." It's a song that was written about the River Mersey. Pretty tough town, Birkenhead, and at the age of 8 I was in a wheelchair, Alan. For 3 years I had what's called Perthes disease of the hip bone, and very, very disempowered as a young man. And then I seen Bruce Lee on the silver screen, and it completely changed my life. And that was like 50 years ago. I was 14. So 50 years ago, it completely changed my life. And I joined our local martial arts club. They didn't have any kung fu. Bruce Lee started in Wing Chun, and then he developed his own style called Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. But they didn't have any instructors in our area, so I joined the karate club, and I was very, very lucky that it happened to be a very good karate club, high standards, and Liverpool had a very, very high standard, the karate with the Liverpool Red Triangle. So and my life changed, Alan. I became self-empowered, really.
From a wheelchair to a martial arts instructor, that's quite a trip. And speaking of trips, you came across the pond to Canada.
Yeah, came in 1988. I led a pretty regular life back there, you know. I had my own business. I was pretty much semi-retired at the age of 28. But my wife's parents emigrated to Canada. She wanted to come. Cut my long story short, I came for a vacation. I loved it, and never regretted it.
It's a wonderful country.
It really is.
Now, you had a change in consciousness, I understand, an awakening. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I was living the high life, really, because I came, and in 1991 I opened my own dojo, martial arts club. I was teaching martial arts and fitness because I was a personal trainer as well. I had a little gym there. I was teaching kickboxercise. I trademarked 2 workouts, kickboxercise, which is like aerobic kickboxing. And I used to skip a lot, so I developed a workout called Skip Fit. So I had my sports car and my Jeep Cherokee, both insured on the road. I had a house with a swimming pool. I was married. And I was doing what I loved, and I was getting well paid for it.
So that's the horizontal line that I'm sure most people can identify with, the pursuit of happiness and the American dream. But then what happened?
I lost it all.
Oh.
And what happened, it's usually in hindsight when you see these things. It was a blessing in disguise, because I really did not have any gratitude for what I had, because I had it all. You know, I was very fit, doing what I loved, had lots of money, and I took it for granted. And I feel, looking back now, I was getting little nudges like, come on, Carl, wake up. Wake up to why you're here on this planet right now. Wake up, wake up, wake up, and then boom, the sledgehammer came. And lost it all, and then had a huge shift in consciousness after many years of pain, probably 3 or 4 years of pain, but 6 months of intense pain. And then I've spoken about this before. I discovered Eckharttolle, and which was a huge part of my awakening. And then I realized that we're all divine.
So to most people, getting money and a nice house and swimming pool, that is the ultimate. That's, you know, and they think that's what they're here for. But You say that there's something more.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with abundance at all.
No.
As divine human beings, we're all, this planet is heaven on earth, or it should be heaven on earth, because it's absolutely beautiful, this planet that we live on, Alan. The seas and the nature and the animals, it's absolutely, you couldn't have made anything up, which God did, or consciousness. The word God has been so misused, Alan, and that's why I do what I do, and that's why I teach the way I teach, because whether you believe in a God, it doesn't matter what type of God you believe in, as long as you don't want to fight people who believe in their God. My God is love. Love is God, and consciousness is something that self-awareness. To me, that's God. Having self-awareness of that divine essence is flowing through you consistently all the time. It's flowing through everything, and quantum physics actually proves this.
Right, so you asked the question, an all-important question, why am I here? What is my purpose? Is it just to accumulate, or is there something more? And as a result, you had a shift in consciousness.
Yeah.
And what is it like now?
Incredible. When I had my shift, I lost everything, as I say. There's a story on YouTube about that too. And my life completely changed, because I know that the meaning of life to me is love and peace and joy. And our natural state is peace. But so many things take us away from that. So probably about 15 to 20 years ago, I switched off the news media, because I started to read some of the greatest minds like Bruce Lipton, Eckharttolle, of course, Joe Dispenza, Michael Beckwith, Neil Donald Walsh, Einstein, Tesla. They were all pointing to this thing, and the great masters, Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna, and so many, many, many more. And right now, Alan, this is the Great Awakening.
It's happening. A spiritual evolution is happening now on planet Earth. A lot of people are waking up. Not everybody, it's still a minority, but that's all that's needed.
Yep, that's all that's needed, Alan.
Carl, thank you very much for telling us about you. Now you have a better idea about Carl Stedmond. We're just people, human beings, but we are aware of the being aspect. And that is the important thing. So a shift in consciousness to ask yourself, why are you here? What is your purpose? And is there something more? Is there a divine intelligence that is running everything?
And I'd just like to add to that. I truly do believe that this time is the greatest time in the history of humanity. There's a lot of evidence that human beings have been here before, and there's been extinctions, But this time, there are so many people truly understanding, not just with faith. And faith is a beautiful thing. I had a mystical experience, so my faith turned into knowing that really we are connected to this divine, and that divinity is within us. Jesus the Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within, and he wasn't kidding. It truly is. And when you have that divine energy flowing through you, you can become a co-creator with that divine energy. We are here to change the world, to bring heaven to earth, because it truly is. So switch off your news media, come together as one. As I say, quantum physics proves we are all one in that divine essence. No matter what your religion, no matter what colour, no matter what accent, what country you're from, I think we're all waking up to this, and let's live as in that oneness. Namaste. From my soul to yours. And be the change you want to see in the world, as Gandhi said.
That's what I was waiting for. You be the change you want to see.
Take care, my friends.